Welcome to the first section, Yummy, Ripe Foods, Veggies and more. In this section, I'll be sharing how I drew the aromatic cup of coffee, glass of lemonade and ripe autumn pear. This section consists of aromatic cup of coffee, glass of lemonade, ripe autumn pear, fresh coconut, perfect tomato, raspberry cheesecake, skillet breakfast, pistachio ice cream cone, heart-shaped lollipop, homemade sandwich. But for this video, I have only saved the three paintings: the aromatic cup of coffee, glass of lemonade, and ripe autumn pear. So this section was a little bit easier as compared to the other ones because I have a little bit of experience with the food illustration with the oil pastel. So let's dive in with our first aromatic cup of coffee. So in this book, there are two paintings for each topic. For the first one, all the instructions are given in a step-by-step procedure. For the second one, only the painting is provided, and you have to draw it on your own. So for the first one, I'll be just following the same steps and the process that is outlined in the book. And for the second one, I'll be using what I learned from the first one to do the second one. For this section of the book, I am using Ripe Specialist Oil Pastel, and for the rest of the book, I'll be using Muggio Gallery Oil Pastel. So the mistakes I made with this first one was the outlines were not that clear and distinct. For this painting, I have to use a little bit of detailed work as well as a lot of blending for the upper section. I had a little bit of difficulty in painting the top section of the cup. I had to go back and forth a few more times till I got the desired result. Adding a little bit of detail with the dark brown. To compensate for the irregular shape of the outline, I use the pencil to do the outline properly. And with these, I am done with the first painting. Now moving on to the second painting, only the photo was given, and based upon the knowledge I acquired from this first one, I painted the second one. So here's the speed paint of the second painting. And with these we are almost done with the first painting. Now as you can see the side by side comparison of the two paintings, I made a little bit of mistakes with the finer details. Moving on to the second painting, Glass of Lemonade. This one was a little bit difficult and challenging for me because of the presence of so many elements as well as the eyes. I usually start by dividing the paper into two sections for the two paintings, then using pencil with the light pressure to draw the outline and the guideline for the whole painting, and then move on to adding the colors. Usually I start with the light colors, then add the darker ones. So here I am starting with the green for the lemon. Now moving on to adding the leaves. Using a lighter shade of the green to draw the outline as well as filling the insides for the leaf. And now comes the hard part for me, the rest of the liquid of the glass, as well as to find a gradient from the top to the bottom of the liquid. Creating transition from the top to the bottom part of the lemonade was a little bit trickier for me. Here's another hard part for me, the eyes. So I was not satisfied with the outcome, so I decided to make it more lighter and add more contrasting color to the whole painting. Again, the outlines were not that clear, so I used pencil to draw the outlines clearly. Now moving on to draw the straw, the final part for this lemonade. Lastly, adding the final touches for the painting, darkening the upper part of the lemonade a little bit, as well as adding the shadow for the glass. And with this I am done with the second project of the book. Now moving on to completing the second painting. So here's another speed paint. With the second painting, I made a lot of mistakes. The color contrasts were not that great, as well as the finer details in the outlines were a little bit vague. Gradient and the transition that I tried to create were not that great. So overall, I'll give myself a 5 out of 10 for the second one. Adding the final touches and highlights, as well as clearing the outline a little bit, and with these I am done with the second one. So here's a side by side comparison of the two paintings. Now moving on to the third and the final speed paint for this video, Ripe Autumn Pear. For this, I drew the ripe autumn pear as well as an apple. So I started with drawing the guidelines for the pear and then proceeded with painting it. For this, I used white for the base layer as I was using the black paper, and upon that I added the other colors. This one was easy to follow along and fun to paint. Now going in with the yellow on top of the white. For this painting, I was having difficulty to get the desired color combination for the pear. So I had to apply 3 or 4 layers of the color. And with these I am done with the Ripe Autumn Pear. Now moving on to the apple, starting with a basic pencil sketch. Using white to draw the first layer for the apple. Enjoy the rest of the speed paint. And with these we are done with the first section of the yummy. Aromatic cup of coffee, glass of lemonade, and the ripe autumn pear. See you in the next video.